LeBron James's son stable after suffering cardiac arrest in practice. Bronny James, the eldest son of NBA superstar LeBron James, is in stable condition after suffering a cardiac arrest during practice with his college basketball team, the James family said on Tuesday. Bronny James, 18, collapsed on court while training with his University of Southern California teammates on Monday in Los Angeles. Yesterday, while practicing, Bronny James suffered a cardiac arrest, a spokesperson for the James family said in a statement to AFP. Medical staff was able to treat Bronny and take him to the hospital. He is now in stable condition and no longer in ICU. Lionel Messi gets 2 goals, assist in first Inter-Miami start. Lionel Messi scored 2 goals and added an assist in a 4-0 win over Atlanta United as he and Sergio Busquets were in Inter-Miami CF's starting lineup Tuesday night at DRV-PNK Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for the first time since joining the MLS side. Jaylen Brown, Celtics agree to record 5-year, $303.7 million supermax extension. Boston Celtics star Jaylen Brown has agreed to sign the richest deal in NBA history, a 5-year supermax extension worth up to $303.7 million, his agent, Jason Glushin, told ESPN on Tuesday. Brown and Glushin met with Celtics management and ownership Sunday evening in Boston, finalizing the remaining elements of the historic deal that keeps the 2-time All-Star under contract through the 2028-29 season. Naoya Inoue is the best fighter in the world and an all-time great. Naoya Inoue isn't simply the best boxer in the world, he's an all-time great, still adding chapters to his legendary career. The Monster continued his climb up the mythical all-time list with yet another see-it-to-believe-it performance, a pulverizing 8th-round TKO of Stephen Fulton on Tuesday in Tokyo to capture the WBC and WBO junior featherweight titles. Saints signed tight end Jimmy Graham to 1-year contract. The New Orleans Saints announced Tuesday that they have signed tight end Jimmy Graham to a 1-year contract. The announcement was made by Saints Executive Vice President, General Manager Mickey Loomis. RB Saquon Barkley signs franchise tag. The Giants veterans reported for training camp with their most prolific player under contract, in the locker room and ready to participate in the first practice of the summer. After much speculation about his intentions, star running back Saquon Barkley arrived early Tuesday and signed a 1-year contract. Barkley had not signed the franchise tender he received on March 7 and did not reach an agreement with the Giants on a long-term contract by the July 17 deadline, prompting some to think he might not report for camp. But Barkley was on the field for conditioning drills Tuesday and will participate in the first practice on Wednesday. Rocky Wirtz, chairman of Chicago NHL team, dies at 70. Wirtz assumed control of the Blackhawks after his father's death in 2007. He helped bring the team to prominence, but the mishandling of an assault accusation dimmed that success. W. Rockwell Wirtz, nicknamed Rocky, the chairman of the NHL's Chicago Blackhawks, died Tuesday at age 70. The Blackhawks announced Wirtz's death on their Twitter account but did not list a cause or location. Bruins captain Bergeron announces retirement. Boston Bruins captain Patrice Bergeron, one of the best two-way forwards ever, announced his retirement Tuesday. Red Sox trade Enrique Hernandez to Dodgers for 2 pitchers. The Los Angeles Dodgers, in search of depth throughout their infield, reached a deal to reacquire super utility man Enrique Hernandez from the Boston Red Sox on Tuesday. Sources: Chargers, Justin Herbert agreed to 5-year, $262.5 million deal. The Los Angeles Chargers and quarterback Justin Herbert have agreed to terms on a 5-year, $262.5 million contract extension, sources told. U.S.-born Casey Fair becomes youngest player in World Cup history. South Korea forward Casey Fair on Tuesday became the youngest ever player to appear at the World Cup, just 26 days after celebrating her 16th birthday. The U.S.-born teenager came on as a 78th-minute substitute in South Korea's 2-0 loss to Colombia in Sydney, beating the record of Nigeria's Ifeanyi Chijun, who was 16 years and 34 days old at the 1999 Women's World Cup. Swimmer Katie Ledecky ties Michael Phelps' record, breaks others at World Championships. U.S. swimming champion Katie Ledecky tied a record with legend Michael Phelps for the most individual world swimming titles, USA Swimming announced Tuesday. Ledecky, 26, achieved the feat while competing in Fukuoka, Japan, at the 2023 World Aquatics Championships, where she won the 1,500-meter freestyle race, her 15th world title, and her 5th in the specific race. Rosalía and Rauw Alejandro break up? No more vampiros. It seems Rosalía and Rauw Alejandro might be over. At the end of July, sources told People that the power couple reportedly ended their relationship after more than 3 years together, also calling off their highly public engagement. See how Melissa McCarthy brought Ursula to life in Behind the Scenes, The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid, starring Halle Bailey, Melissa McCarthy and more, is now available on digital. First trailer for The Exorcist, Believer, released. The first trailer for The Exorcist, Believer, was released on Tuesday, and builds on the original movie, The Exorcist, released in 1973. Search suspended for man who jumped overboard Carnival cruise ship off Florida coast. Officials. The U.S. Coast Guard has suspended the search for a man they said jumped overboard a Carnival cruise ship off the coast of Florida over the weekend. Officials said Jaylen Hill, 30, reportedly jumped overboard the Carnival Elation as the ship was on its way back to Jacksonville, Florida, following a 4-day trip to the Bahamas. UPS union calls off strike threat after securing pay raises for workers. The Teamsters union said it has secured pay raises for United Parcel Service workers, averting what would have been one of the largest strikes in U.S. history. President Biden designates Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley National Monument. Today, on what would have been Emmett Till's 82nd birthday, President Biden will sign a proclamation establishing the Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley National Monument in Mississippi and Illinois. The new national monument will tell the story of the events surrounding Emmett Till's murder, their significance in the civil rights movement and American history, and the broader story of Black oppression, survival, and bravery in America. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is uninjured after being involved in a car crash. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was involved in a car accident Tuesday morning, his campaign confirmed to NPR. DeSantis, who is a Republican candidate in the 2024 presidential election, was traveling to an event in Chattanooga, Tennessee. He and his team are uninjured, a campaign spokesperson said. Russian President Vladimir Putin states emergent multipolar world order will be more just. In a recent article, Vladimir Putin, president of the Russian Federation, outlined his thoughts about the emergence of a new multipolar world order. Putin explained this new configuration will allow different regions, including Africa, the Middle East, and LATAM, to assume their roles in a new, more just and democratic, world order.